Hey everyone, welcome back to Adventures with Edna. I'm Chris. Chance has the weekend off. And today we're doing things we don't want to do, which is carburetor stuff. I mentioned in the last video that Edna is not running right. She just started running bad last week. At first it wasn't real noticeable, just kind of on takeoff. It seemed kind of rough, and then it's kind of slowly gotten worse. I checked out the distributor and sanded down the cap and rotor. They had a little buildup on them. I got rid of that, and I checked the spark plugs, and they were looking kind of rough, so I changed those out, but it had no effect on anything at all. So we're going to look into the fuel system now. I have not driven Edna since Sunday, and it is now Friday. So this is a really long time to go without driving Edna. I've been procrastinating all week about this because I didn't want to do it because I don't want to get into this carburetor. Also, just in case you guys didn't know, we have power and water again. So we're good to go. We're slowly getting things cleaned up around here. So we're trying to get back to normal. Still don't have internet, but just happy to have power and water. Anyway, let's get started. So we're going to start by getting this carburetor out of here. And that's got to move. So I've got a very specific reason for not wanting to get into this carburetor. And that reason is, back when I first got Edna, I decided to go ahead and rebuild on this. I can't remember specifically if I was having any issues or if I just wanted to do it for peace of mind. And one of those issues that we had was, well, not really an issue that we had, but I've never had any problems taking carburetors apart. In the past, I rebuilt a lot of them in my time, and I've never had any real problems with it. But this one, which I thought, I always kind of felt like one of those, if you know how to rebuild carburetors, you really don't want to tell anybody because then they want you to rebuild them for them. It's kind of a dying art, if you will. Most mechanic shops don't work on these. So, I have had this carburetor off, and I have rebuilt it myself. And when I was in there, I thought, man, this carburetor is really simple. Shouldn't be any issues with this at all. This is also the only carburetor that I've ever rebuilt that was worse when I put it back together. Like, it was dumping fuel. I think I went through a... Get off of there. I think I went through an entire tank of gas in 80 miles. That's 20 gallons of gas in 80 miles. It was running so bad. It was pouring out the black smoke. I wasn't sure what was wrong. So, what we ended up doing was... Come on, let go, you. So what I ended up doing was I let the professionals down at the carb shop in Greenville rebuild it for me. And I haven't had any problems with it. That was about 4 years ago. And it's been fine ever since. So, at the moment, we're going to attempt to redo this ourselves. And I don't know how far we're going to go with this in this video. I guess I'll know by the time I stop filming if I might have to take it back down there again. Alright, so to explain what I did was first I pulled the choke cable off. I'll come back around. Take our throttle spring off. Take our linkage off. Let that fall apparently. Now we got a vacuum line. This vacuum line on the back, I think it's 3/8. Yeah, 7/16 is too big, so we need a 3/8 wrench to take that off. I'm kind of hoping maybe we just open this bad boy up. Why is that still not one? There we go. Yeah, this is our vacuum advance that goes to our distributor. I don't really want to take this carburetor any further apart than we have to, because I'm afraid of it, since that rebuild did not work out the way I planned. I'm trying to, hopefully, that loose? No. I'm hoping that we can have this fixed today and go to a car show tomorrow. But if I can't fix it today, we have to order parts, because nobody locally has this carburetor kit. Hope I can see this better from the other side. Not really. There we go. It's off. Alright, that means everything's loose, so now we just got to pull the 3 nuts off the bottom, and then the whole thing's out. That really didn't seem all that tight, but I'm just going to turn out this whole thing was just a vacuum leak. So yesterday, I took the fuel pump, which the sediment bowl was really dirty. So we cleaned the sediment bowl, and it had bug parts in it, which was super weird. I didn't know you could have bug parts in your fuel system. But we got all that cleaned out, and now it seems to be looking good. I'm pretty sure that I have a carburetor base plate running around this somewhere. Which I hope I do, because that's also something you have to order around here. You'd think there's still enough flathead V8s around that the parts would be a little easier to get at your local parts store. They do have some stuff, but not everything. Alright, one more bolt on the very back. Alright, so my plan here is relatively simple and cowardly. My plan is to hopefully find something that is super obvious, not tear anything up, and not mess with any adjustments. So we're going to start by taking off the top of our carburetor, which has 5 screws in it, one of which is a flathead and the rest are Phillips. I watched in a video earlier that these are supposed to have some block washers on it. Mine don't. I'm kind of hoping that this, to some extent, looks like what we saw in the glass fuel pump bowl. sediment bowl and do some blasting with some carb cleaner, throw it back together, and we can pretend none of this ever happened. Allegedly. This is a BMW screwdriver, just in case you guys are wondering. It goes with the factory kit. I'm using it because I left it out the other day. So it was right there. Now, can we take the top off without... Hey, this one had a lock washer. Can we take this top off without ruining this gasket? Because if we ruin this gasket, we have to order a kit. Got some obvious sediment down in the bottom, which I guess could be expected. Feels like sand. Not sticking my finger weirdly. Power valve feels like it's doing power valve things. Yeah. So it's a little dirty. Does our squirter work? Oh yeah, that goes up. We got squirtage. Or does it go down? Maybe we just can't move it. Yeah, seemed like both squirts were good. Alright, let's take off our little plugs here. Take off our little plugs here. See if we can shoot out our jets. Basically, that gives us a straight shot from here to there. I don't know if we did any good with that just now. It's not as dirty as I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like a lot worse. take a jet out and see what happens. I'm just winging it here. I was hoping there'd be like some giant chunk or something in here that was making things run rough. Let's take a look at our power valve. I'm trying to figure out what to do next. It's kind of weird, the mix of screws on this thing. I mean, it is 75 years old. Probably been worked on plenty of times in the past. This is our bracket for the choke, which I don't know if it's because of where I live, but I've never really needed the choke all that much. It does kind of help a little bit in the winter, but I don't use it. I don't have to use it. All right, let's see what's going on in here. I don't see any real sediment in there. Basically, just kind of sticking stuff in holes and hoping it works. How do I know if my power valve is good? All right, this is going to get graphic for a minute. All right, so this is our power valve. I know the lighting's not great right here. That's our power valve. So basically, I put my lips right there and sucked in. And you can feel on this side that this is This is moving. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it's definitely holding some kind of pressure, so we're going to leave that alone. You got to be careful when you spray in some of these holes. You really don't know where it's going to shoot out at you. Well, that could be an issue. So if I put the straw, oh, I didn't even realize you guys can't see what I'm doing. So if I put the straw in this one, how did I have it? Maybe it's not what I thought. I see stuff coming out of some places. Oh, there's more than one hole in here. All right, I got another carb pleater inside. I'm gonna go grab that. Kind of interesting. You can see where that blows out there and there. All right, so we're putting this back on. This little arm here was in the middle hole. And we know that because, one, it's the only hole that's worn, and two, that's just where I remember it being. I should have noted when I took this off, just to let you guys see. That's not the right one. That one goes there. And then we're going to flip it back over. Put in the two top screws. I guess this is more of a carburetor overhaul, not a rebuild. I'll probably address that in the title of this video so nobody's mad. I don't think I want to take anything else off. Like, I could probably pull all of this stuff out but I don't want to. Like I said, we are hoping to blast this thing out, put everything back together, and hope everything runs right. It's a cowardly carburetor rebuild. Overhaul. I mean, all the passages, I tried to blow through as many of them as I could. Everything seemed like it was blasted out fine. Power valve seems to be doing power valve things. We haven't looked at our needle and seat. Yeah, we haven't looked at this top part at all. So let's look at that. Is our needle and seat sticking? It does not appear to be. Let's see what happens if we shoot some carb cleaner down. Maybe there's a piece of trash in there. Let's pull the needle out and look at it. Seems pliable. I don't see anything in there. I'm not going to play with the adjustment on that at all. I've been running 4 years since this thing was rebuilt, so there shouldn't be. Let's shake that and see if we hear anything in it. I don't hear anything, so that's our official test for how we're going to figure out if there's anything in it. There is a little spring in there. I saw it in one of the videos. All right, let's put our top back on, tighten everything up. I don't think that goes that way. This has got to... So the only one that had washer on it was this front one. Alright, I guess let's go try to put it on. Alright, so we got everything back on, but the air filter, start it up, see what happens. Got a fuel leak back here. Well, despite the fuel leak, I'm going to take it around the block anyway. Still seems kind of rough. I'm not feeling too optimistic. So far, I'm not sure what I think. Might be better. I mean, it's driving fine. I guess let's go get some gas. There's not much in it. I think we're definitely going to call that a win. Got gas, came back. Everything seems fine. So I threw the air filter back on real quick. I'm going to buy some 3/8 fuel line to replace that line because I did tighten that down, but it's still dripping. But that's the least of our worries at this point. I'm going to get that fixed immediately, though, because you don't really want to be driving around with a fuel leak, especially right on top of your engine. But very happy about that. I did not want to do this at all. I've been procrastinating all week about doing this, and it worked. So I guess there was just a piece of trash in there somewhere that we must have blasted out with the carb cleaner. So we can feel pretty good about that. So that being said, don't forget, adventures are everywhere. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.